give us the launch codes. Travis and Tom here.
Hey everybody, well happy to be back.
How have you been?
Been good, man. It's been a bit. We've had a little bit about like a week and a half off, and it's been nice. It's good to see you. Lots happened. One thing that kind of has been in my head that we all has happened. So today, the day of the recording, it's March 5th. Gene Hackman passed away. Jared, but you heard about that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, he passed away. It's just crazy. Him and his wife and his dog were found dead in their home. And the whole thing's just getting more just suspicious and more suspicious as the days go on. You would think a man that Gene Hackman, what he's done, the man he is, would just have the most quiet, boring death at 95. No. Apparently, the last thing the sheriff of New Mexico said, they think he's been dead for 9 days when they found him. Mm-hmm. Wow, right?
Yeah.
But the one thing that's been kind of annoyed me about the whole thing so far, and I hope whenever this comes out, I hope it's changed, but so far, I have not heard one news outlet bring up the fact that this guy is a Marine. Did you know he was a Marine?
I did not know he was a Marine until you told me.
He's a Marine, and I'm saying, and I'm correcting myself because I just said was, but I'm saying is because it's a big thing to be a Marine. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you know this much, but it was in Full Metal Jacket. Arlie Ermey was the DI, as we all know, like that famous scene with the DI at the beginning, the first half of the movie.
Everybody knows that scene.
Yeah, and he said a quote about it that
Marines die. That's what we're here for. But the Marine Corps lives forever. And that means you live forever.
So yeah, he is a Marine. And it's like, just show a little respect, people. This guy's, he served.
I mean, I don't know much about, like, how Gene Hackman presented himself in public or anything, because he was, I mean, I think I was 9 years old when he announced he was retiring from acting or something like that. In fact, I'm going to be honest, when he died, I had a bit of a Mandela effect where I thought, wait, I thought he died earlier. I've had that with a few actors that were like big in the 70s, where for some reason I just thought they died earlier, and like,
you kept it pretty quiet and low key. So even I thought too. I was like, oh wow, I thought he died too.
He just had a quiet retirement. Good for him. Yeah, I don't know. It reminds me of my the fact that his like military record is overshadowed. I don't know. It reminds me of my both my grandfathers. One of them who served in the Air Force, the other who served in the Army. The one who served in the Army, that was my dad's dad. He was actually an MP in Japan.
Oh wow!
Like after they surrendered, he almost got shipped out for D-Day. almost. It was like the day before. The day before he was supposed to ship out for that, he got pulled out because they realized he was an engineering student, and they thought that the war was going to go on much longer.
So you needed it, yeah.
So like, no. Keep doing engineering school. We're going to need more guys like you. We're not going to use you as cannon fodder. That story always sticks with me. But my grandfathers, I don't know. They didn't wear like hats or like jackets or anything saying, I was in the Air Force, I was in the Army. It was never... In my memory, it was never a huge part of their personality at all, because they moved on. One became a police officer, the other became a PR man for a company that put lead in gasoline before it was illegal. True story. So maybe it was just like that. It was like he served, and then he moved on. In the case of Gene Hackman, he served and moved on. He became an actor, and that kind of became his legacy.
Oh, I know that. Like, we all know his like roles, as Lex Luthor in Superman, The French Connection, Unforgiven, just name a few, Birdcage. But I'm just saying the overall, it's like, this is a big famous actor. There's more to talk about too. Like, he has a whole life, not just a part of his life. It's like, show a little respect too at the same time. Because, like, example, bet you anything, whenever it comes from Adam Driver's time when he passes, they're going to talk about his military service. Mm-hmm. That's what I mean. Yeah. Just show a little respect. It's a little annoying on my part because he's more than just an actor. He had a whole life, not just acting. Even though what he brought to it, no one's ever going to bring to that again. He to me, he will always be Lex Luthor, for example. He perfectly.
I was actually gonna ask, except you're not on social media, so you wouldn't know. But
No,
like,
I am a troglodyte.
So like, I was gonna ask if the Marines, like official socials or website, if they made an announcement like, "Oh, he was one of us," and
I am
rest in peace.
What's funny is you saying I'm not on social media. I am so not on social media. I didn't even know the Marines had a social media account.
Oh, sure. Every branch of government, every branch of the military has a social media account. There are whole countries that have social media accounts.
I am definitely a troglodyte. I'm gonna go back in my rockin' cave. No. And hang out with Patrick Starr. Yeah, so that was it. What's today's topic, man? Like,
well, it's funny I mentioned my grandparents. Because I do have a story I'd like to bring us in with. Yeah. This is a story from a few years ago involving the grandfather that was in the Air Force. Right. So this was my mother's father.
He was the one who became an officer of the law, right?
Yeah, he became a police officer.
Okay.
And when, so this is a few years ago, he received a phone call one day on his landline phone. I was in undergrad at the time, and I went to school in Long Beach. I went to Cal State Long Beach for undergrad. He received a phone call from someone pretending to be me, and he said, supposedly this person said, "Hey, Grandpa Carroll," his first name was Carroll, "Grandpa Carroll, I'm at a jail cell in some town in Oklahoma. Could you wire me some bail money?"
What?
Well, there are so many things wrong with this. My grandfather, even though he was in his 80s and therefore very much of the demographic that would be susceptible to scams like that, there was a lot of things wrong. First of all, I didn't call him Grandpa Carroll. I called him Papa Lynn. That is what I called him. I called his wife Mama Lynn. Lynn was the surname. That was the name I referred to him. So that was wrong. Second, what am I doing in Oklahoma? He lived in Texas, so Oklahoma is not far from there, but I live in California.
Yeah.
So even though it's creepy that someone knew who I was and knew my relation to him, already that's like, this person already has way too much information about us. But still, it's like certain details, and of course my grandfather was not just, maybe it's because my grandfather wasn't just a officer of the law, he was a homicide detective. So maybe that was what helped him kind of suss things out.
He could smell shit from a mile away.
Exactly.
Okay, that's good.
Just to be just to be safe, just to be for sure, he called my mother and asked, "Chrissy," I'm doing my impression of him. "Chrissy, where's Travis right now?" And my mom said, "Well, he's at school right now. I had breakfast with him this morning." Because this is back when I was still living with my parents at the time. Right. And I was like, okay, just making sure I received the strangest phone call.
You know what? That impression, that is a Carol. That when I said that impression, I'm like, yeah, that's a Carol. That's an awesome name. That's a cool name, by the way. Well, I'm glad he didn't fall for that scam. He did. Because that's yeah. Yeah,
it's a very happy ending, and an epilogue was that I later gave him a call to reassure him that I was not locked up somewhere in Oklahoma. I was being a good little grandson, getting his education and stuff. And one thing we actually did was that we came up with like a code phrase, which even though he's passed away, I will not reveal it on this podcast, but it was basically like if he ever received a sussy phone call like that again, he would ask a particular question, and I was to give him a coded response to let him know it was really me.
See, that's smart. That's actually a smart thing to do with family members and people you're in contact with a lot. Just always have a contingency plan.
Yeah.
That's smart. Everyone should do that.
Never once had to use that code phrase on him. I've never had to ask my family members for money on the phone, and if I did, I would not have, no offense to my old grandfather, but I would not have called him. I would have called my parents first. I would have called the people
you were living with at the time. Get the money quicker, right?
Yes, exactly.
By the way, a little slight note. If you hear a little bit of a rocking and rolling in the back distance, folks, that's the Give Us the Launch Code's mascot, Tater Tot, just chilling with us. He's got a bone.
He's got a little chew toy, and this chew toy actually came from his best friend, which is my in-law's golden retriever. He seems to like his toys more when they're from other dogs. It's like a stamp of approval.
I like what you like.
He doesn't like the toys we buy him as much, but he likes the ones from his Uncle Mickey, as we call him. But anyway, that was one scam story that's one scam story in my family that did have a happy ending. There was one that happened more recently that didn't. My poor uncle got, I think it was an email from someone pretending to be from the U.S. Marshals saying, "Hey, your bank account is being attacked. We need you to put all your money into this other account for safekeeping." And he lost a ton of money because of that. And he didn't put all his money in there because he did it at the bank, and someone at the bank kind of saw what was going on. It's like, that's a lot of money you're transferring. This looks like you're being scammed, and managed to stop him. But it was kind of a little too late. So he has to live. He has to be very frugal at the moment until kind of the next Social Security check comes in. And that story upset me and kind of prompted me to want us to do an episode about this, because I was just like, why didn't you call one of us? Why didn't you call your bank? Well, okay, we're gonna go all of that over right now. So, Tom.
Yeah.
We are also not immune to receiving scam messages.
Oh God, no, man.
They
Shit.
infect my email boxes. They infect our email boxes. They infect our phone messages.
Texts, phones, voicemails, email, yeah. Even in the mail, like you'll actually get the physical scam still once in a while. No, it's bullshit, because it's just, to me, this is scamming is beyond just the normal, like what it started, like you're on the street and it's like, hey, follow the marble in the cups, follow the marble in the cups, kind of thing, that kind of scam. And he like tricks the marble. That kind of scam is just, okay, you just got fooled in the street. That's different. It's just a couple bucks. You know what I mean?
It's a magic trick.
You got fooled by a magician.
Yes.
And he's just a street artist.
Mm-hmm.
This kind of scamming is, to me, another type of evil, because you can take everything in a second.
Yes.
And it's not just money. You can take credit. You can take identity. Everything in a second. And that's why it's like, you'll fuck these people, because you can destroy not just a person, you destroy families generationally. Like identity theft. It really is not a joke. It's evil. People lose everything. They can end up in jail wrongfully because of it. It's happened. You get scammed because you're just reading it and you're like, okay, being a good person to solve a problem, and you fall for it and you're out, not $5, 500, 5,000, 500,000. That debt's on you now.
Yeah.
Like, or you're either cleaned out or the debt racks up, and then you got real, for example, federal officers or a real cop or something, like someone who's actually from the government knocking on your door, and you are just screwed in the ass.
Yeah.
So just it sucks that this is becoming more and more of a thing, and they're becoming, as they say, more quote unquote creative. No, you're not being creative. You're just evil. Like there's nothing creative. There's no art. But it's just
they're getting more and more clever. And I also have a feeling that in this current administration, there's not going to be a lot of investment in terms of countering these things. So I think these kind of scams are going to get more rampant. Describe to me a scam message that you've received, and what about it tipped you off that something is wrong?
There's been a lot. And you know what's funny? When I go into it, it always happens right when you become 18. That's when it really kicks in. It really does. It kicks in right when you become 18, or when you get your first paycheck. It's like a freaking dinner bell being rung.
Yeah.
It's just, they all come after it. But the most recent one was an email, and my dumbass, thankfully nothing bad happened, but my first initial reaction should have been, it's in the junk mail. This is nothing. So that was my Yeah, check.
Yeah.
Really, if it's in the junk mail, be very leery and suspicious.
Yeah, it's probably there for a reason.
But a bill showed up in the junk mail, and that should have told me right off the bat, boom, but it didn't. So I opened it to look into it. By the way, folks, keep in mind, opening a text message and opening up an email, sometimes that's all they actually need. So you got to just read what you can and delete it from there.
Yeah.
Be very careful. Even opening can screw you.
Yeah.
But I opened it up, and I think it was a BS paperwork thing it was Norton LifeLock.
Oh, I've gotten those so many times.
And it said basically, it's had my name, not my full name, but my name. Yeah. And it said, your subscription for the year is almost over. Your auto renewal is about to reset. If it's not true, let us know and we'll cancel it. Now, in my head, I was like this. Shoot, Norton LifeLock. That's familiar to me as a security measure because I've had HPs and Macs.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, I've had a desktop and an HP before I got my Mac. Did I have Norton LifeLock? And has it been in effect still? I'm like, well, no. I would notice if $238 was missing every year or 2 years because I think I've had my Mac for almost 10. I think. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna call. Nothing can be with calling. One, by the way, that was one mistake. I got safe. Calling can also just screw you. So I didn't respond to the email.
Well, who'd you call?
I called the number on the phone.
Oh, in the email.
In the email, yeah. But I'm saying this to folks:
okay.
calling the number on the email or the text message, that could screw you in the ass.
Yes.
By the way, it's funny how we're speaking of this right now. I'm getting a call on my phone of a spam risk, and guess what? I'm hanging up. Like right now, I just got a spam risk. Everyone, that just shows you it happens to us all. But I called because I asked my wife. I asked my wife about it. And she's like, you know what? Just double check. I called and I got a response, and this is how they get clever. So beyond professional customer service. And that's, I think, what got me more going into it, because you don't get good customer service anymore ever you go. I'm talking, this was Nordstrom's from the 90s customer service. It was amazing. Thank the guy, and the guy was smart. I just told him, hey, I don't have this, want to get rid of it, please stop it. Oh, so my apologies, sir. This sucks when this happens, inconvenience. Let's get this taken care of. Could you please tell me the order number? So that's what kept me not as suspicious. He asked for the order number. He didn't ask for my credit card number, social security number, or my name again. He just said, what's the order number on the page? So I was like, okay. Said the order number. He said nothing, and they just said, okay, I'm going to just take this and now to redirect you to our payroll account so we can get this canceled and get you back. When he said that, that's when I knew. I just hung up because I'm like, payroll does not handle this. Customer service handles this.
Yeah, customer service.
Payroll,
They would not transfer
payroll
you.
handles their own people. So I got lucky. Nothing has happened. I've checked over the past few days still. Still nothing's been taken out. All good. But the big alert was it just had my name. It had an order number, amount due. But a real bill actually has the last 4 digits of your credit card.
Yeah.
It does. And also, too, it has your phone number, your address, and email on it.
Yeah.
All this thing had was my name. So I hung up. Did call my bank.
Yes, that's a good
and
thing.
they just said this. Oh, yeah, we've been getting a lot of this fake Norton LifeLock. I'm like, oh, so there's a trend right now with fake Norton LifeLock bills.
Yes.
That sucks for Norton LifeLock. That sucks for that company that people are sullying your name right now.
It's not just Norton LifeLock. It's like
it's
also
just,
it's like McAfee. It's like every web security company.
Sucks that they're getting scammed just by their name.
Yes.
And they could lose customers over this and clients. So I goes, okay, but she told me this is a thing that happened. And then out of my personal peace of mind, I told her what I did, and she said, oh yeah, you didn't give anything that could hurt you. You just said hi, order number, and amount due. You didn't give anything else, so you are fine.
Yeah.
And I got lucky. But to show you how really dumb I was, it could have gotten worse. Thankfully, it clicked, but I should have known from the beginning, it's in my junk mail. Yeah. I'm just going to directly call my bank now.
Yes.
And thankfully, nothing was pending. Nothing has been pended or deducted so far. But really, people, I am lucky because just opening up the email or opening up a text, that is enough to lose everything. It's enough.
Yeah.
Calling them with your phone number is enough. Responding with a call or a text or an email back, that is even enough. be very careful. If you see something suspicious in any way, shape, or form, just call your bank right away, and then you'll be fine. And delete that.
Yeah. You know who else you could have also called besides your bank? Norton LifeLock. But not the number they gave you in that email. You have to go on the real Norton LifeLock website. And also, something else that could give away that something is a scam, look at the actual email it came from. If it doesn't say, accounts and billing... Now, if maybe they are able to get clever and they could... The @ address is like NortonLifeLockUSA.org. It's like they'll have a website that looks similar, but then you can just look at the actual website in real life.
Yeah, don't hit the link ever. Just go to the website.
If it doesn't match the email, you're good. Then it's like, oh, this is a scam. No.
But you're right. If the email doesn't look professional,
if it's like Boogie 28765, like if it looks like a bot account on Twitter.
If it's even like if it's a Gmail account or a Yahoo account, it's not professional. It's going to be the most professional email you've ever seen. So, Travis, you are right, and everyone listening, please. This is like Travis brought this up to us to do this episode as a PSA because this is a big thing. Mm-hmm. It's unfortunate. This is a big thing that happens around the world, and no one should lose all their hard work, the roof over their head, security, the damage this can do to just you and even those around you.
Yeah.
Just really be cautious.
The big thing for me, it's like the two things that should stick out is like they're asking for your money or they're asking for your financial and personal information. Which, first of all, it's like, okay, if they're asking, like with the Norton LifeLock stuff, it's like, oh, if you already have an account with them, if that was real, if you already had an account with them, they would already have your financial information. They would just, you wouldn't necessarily need to, give them your credit card number. No. They would already have that on file.
And also, too, with most auto renewals, you get, a countdown over days.
Yep.
All auto renewals that you click and choose to, I want an auto renewal, you get heads up still days in advance leading up to the big renewal.
Yes. Yes, you do.
So that's another thing.
Yeah.
There are the legitimate stuff has so many checks and balances and steps that are honestly annoying at times. Mm-hmm. That's the point. The annoying is protecting you.
Like what my grandfather did was the right thing. It was like my grandson is in jail. Well, I should call his mother first. Yeah. No. I should call the people that he lives with.
No matter what is being said over the phone, written in the text and email, like you're saying, it's not urgent. You actually have time to respond to that.
Yeah.
So don't act fast. Don't act fast.
They'll try to get you to act fast, though. And I was thinking, what happened to my uncle with, it's like the U.S. Marshals. Well, you know what you could do? You can call the U.S. Marshal Service, and you could ask them. It seems like a lot of these things will be like, I don't know, you're overdue on... Another one I get is the toll roads. Like, oh, you owe it.
Oh, yeah, you told me about one of these.
I get one of those every month, and it's from a number that's not an American number. And I know it's not an American number because the format of the phone number is not, it's not 334. You know how it's the 3-digit area code, then the next 3 digits, and then the last 4 digits. It had a plus 63 on it, which that's a country code.
Yeah.
From the Philippines. See, our country code is +1, so 1-800 such and such and such.
But there was a +3.
But it was a plus 63, which is it's that's. Wow. Which, if it's a foreign number, if it's a foreign phone number, it would show that on your phone, hey, the call is from plus, and it'll give you the country code and then give you the phone number. So if you see that plus there. It's that number is not coming from your country at all.
And to add with numbers, if you're getting a call, for example, because we're talking about calls, let's just say calls. If you, especially nowadays with everyone having a smartphone, you get a call and you don't recognize the number, send it a voicemail. If they're important,
yes,
they'll leave you a voicemail. Mm-hmm. And also, too, since we all have caller ID, you already know it's a number. Yeah, you're going to voicemail. When you get a call on your phone, and it's no one's name that comes up, and it's just numbers that you do not recognize by heart, please wait to voicemail. Mm-hmm. Because if it's important enough, if it really is important, they will leave you a voicemail, and you can always safely listen to a voicemail.
Yeah. And now, I've had one of those scam calls leave a voicemail, too. But, again, it's like, I look at the phone number, and I'm like, you're claiming to be from a domestic service, a domestic public service, like, you know, the toll roads or Easy Tag or whatever.
Yes, here in America.
Or you're from the IRS. Oh, if you're really from the IRS, you would have an American phone number.
You don't.
So I'm not going to listen to you. And if this is really important, you would send me an envelope in my mailbox, which a lot, especially for like financial stuff like
Government
that.
does that.
Yes, the government will send you an envelope.
That's why the government's kind of scary. They come to the mailbox.
Yeah. The government knows not to send you text messages or phone messages or emails because those can get easily hacked and
Because they want your ass, it'll be in the mail.
the best and most secure way to get that information to you is through the mail.
Good old post office.
This reminds me of sort of that impulse of like, well, I could just call the police. Like if they because some of those text messages will say like, oh, there will be a warrant for your arrest and that kind of thing. Well, if there is, you could just call the cops and ask them, hey, is there a warrant out for my arrest?
Oh, and by the way, when we say call the cops, don't dial 911.
Not 911.
Don't do that. Go online and find the phone number for your city's police department.
That impulse was very useful for me for a non-scam thing. Back in January when we had those big fires, remember... Oh, wait, you were in Orange County. You probably didn't...
Oh, but no, you told me you got a BS... that's another scam.
Well, it's not a scam. It's that they're alert. So we get, like, phone alerts about... We were getting phone alerts about fires, like, a lot. And it's a new system. They were clearly still testing the kinks of things. And so we got... Here in Long Beach, everyone in LA County got a alert saying... there's an evacuation warning in your area. But it was for a fire that was like in Ventura County, which is way up north.
And you said the entire LA County was...
The entire LA County got it, and so Long Beach got it.
Yeah.
Long Beach, the only way the fires affected us was that we got some ash blown in some days. So we were not we were not in harm's way. So we received this we received this phone message, this public service message, and it was a mistake. I had a feeling it was a mistake. It was a snafu. It was not supposed to go out that wide. Somebody hit the reply all button that shouldn't have. But just to be sure, I called my local police department.
Once again, not 911. Call the actual department's number.
I called the phone number for headquarters and I asked, hey, I got this message. And I must have been like the 26th caller that day because he interrupted me and said, yeah, we got those. There is no evacuation. You're fine.
You bring that up, by the way. Just a quick little sidetrack of that. You bring that up. Can you imagine the chaos if everyone just did what it said, just followed it? Mm-hmm. The freaking just untold levels of damage and chaos. If every soul in LA County just gotta go.
Yep.
Thankfully, there's probably it's probably like 99%. Everyone called. That's a good thing. I think because
and thankfully they sent out false alarm messages shortly afterwards. That really helped.
What's nice is that because that would have been a story on the news. Since it wasn't, everyone was smart.
Yeah.
That wasn't. That everyone left. I'm saying there wasn't a story on the news.
Oh yeah.
There wasn't a story on the news that everyone followed that, and that's nice to hear that everyone just took a breather and called. That's nice to know that nothing bad came of that. You know what? It's like this. There's a famous quote. I don't know who said it, but I use it at work when I'm training people. Slow is fast. Fast is slow. Just take it easy. Mm-hmm. Collect your thoughts, and you will move way faster. Even if it's a dire situation, take it slow.
One thing I also wanted to touch on is what gets people to fall for scams, and it's like it's not just like old. I mean, old people are very vulnerable because they're not as tech savvy.
They get hit the most, man. There was a little indie movie last year with June Squibb about that.
Ooh.
Yeah, she same thing happened. Grandma, I'm in jail. I need cash for bail. Mm-hmm. She sends it. It was BS. June Squibb got a gun and hunted the person down.
Oh, that's great.
I don't know how it ended. I just remember that was the trailer of the movie. She got scammed, like what you're saying would happen with your grandfather. She, being a loving grandmother,
I want my money back.
no, not a shotgun. It was a 357 Magnum with a long ass barrel.
Oh, that's
what the
awesome.
trailer had. It was like a long. It was a.
Oh, that's fucking great.
And it's June Squibb. It's June Squibb. If you don't know who June Squibb is, just find a movie with her and watch it, and you'll be like this. Oh, damn. That woman is awesome. Nebraska was one that got her more like back into the circuit of acting because she did a lot of stuff in the past. But the Nebraska movie with Bruce Dern and I think it was Willem Forte, if I'm saying it right.
Yeah,
Will
Forte.
Will Forte. Holy crap, she was hilarious in that one. And then she played Sheldon's grandma in The Big Bang Theory. So not in Young Sheldon, but The Big Bang Theory. And yeah, no, that woman will eat you for breakfast. She'll eat your liver. So that's why that, but just saying.
But
sorry, going back to you. You
I
said
wanted,
old, yeah.
because it's not just like old people, but I feel like.
Oh, why people fall for this?
But I feel like it's a psychological, or maybe like a societal impulse. I have this theory that if we taught our kids to ask for an officer's badge number, I feel like this. I'm gonna turn this into like we should tell our kids to question the police more often because that could instill a healthy impulse to question authority, and if we can question authority better, we can suss out false authority, like people claiming they're from
The IRS,
a company, the IRS,
yeah.
a government agency. It's like, well, are you really from a government agency?
I get what you're saying, and I think the reason, though, why a lot of people, unfortunately, fall for these scams, I think it's the inner subconscious of, wait, what? I work hard. I have my affairs in order. I pay my bills. I am a good person. I am a law-abiding, tax-paying citizen. Why am I being told I did something wrong? Did I do something wrong? I think that's why people fall for it. They work so hard to keep stuff in a straight arrow that when they're being told by someone that's claiming to have this big, authority title, it's a quick moment of, wait, did I? But I'm good. And I think that's why people fall for it. And the thing is, people, like Travis is saying, it's not him going on a rant of saying, for example, F the police. That's not what he's saying. He's not saying that. He's saying there's a way to calmly question someone calling you out or someone saying you're wrong. Yeah. There's a calm way of professionally going about that, and that's what you should do. He's using the cops as an example because, ask the officer for his badge number. Yeah. So in this case, it's just take a breath. Whoever's telling you owe money or else, breathe, call your bank.
Yeah, or...
Call your bank, or, depending on your age, call a family member. Doesn't matter your age. It really actually doesn't matter what age you are. Call a family member or a close friend first. Yeah. And they will say, that sounds like bullshit. Call your bank or call this number. Yeah. And there you go.
You should have, it's like a...
And there's nothing wrong with questioning stuff. Question anything you get on your phone or emails. Always question it, but just do it as an adult, mature.
You should have enough self-confidence to, like I always think, the bad, I say, ask the officer for his badge number. I think a better example would be if you get pulled over and the cop says, may I search your vehicle? Of which you have the right to say no.
But don't say, go F yourself, professionally and calmly say, no, thank you, sir.
You just say, I don't consent to searches, which is your constitutional right. And therefore,
it's go about it calmly.
But it's like you do, but it's like, okay, people that do that know their rights and they're exerting their rights. And in my opinion, that's actually the smarter thing to do, because even if the cop is like, well, I have the gun, so I'm going to search your car anyway, whatever they find, and by find, I mean they probably have a stolen bag of cocaine from evidence that they want to plant on you to get a cheap arrest out of you, it's inadmissible. And it's like, oh, you just covered your ass. You just covered you know your rights enough to cover your ass when authority gets abused because you had the foresight to think, well, maybe this is not a good police officer. Maybe this is not an authority I should trust in right now, just in case. And so I feel like if you have that impulse to be kind of ready for situations like that,
less scams will happen.
You will be less vulnerable to them because you'll know, as you said, instead of I'm a good person, what could I have possibly done wrong? It's I'm a good law-abiding citizen. Therefore, I know this is bullshit.
Yeah, no.
I know what I'm made of, son.
And it's also too. It's not just our kids to teach about like, hey, question things that come on your phone in any way, shape, or form. It's any age. Have a family discussion about it. Hey, everyone, remember, if you see something weird on your phone, call me. Call Uncle Blah, Aunt Blah, Grandma, Grandpa, Cousin. Every family nowadays has that one tech-savvy person.
Yeah.
Just call them. Or that one central person that anyone goes to for problems. Yeah. Call them. I thankfully had my wife with me. You thankfully have, your wife or your mom, like when you were living at home and your grandpa with all that. So just call someone that you know will just help you with an answer. And at the same time, if you are on your own, call the number from the website or just go to your bank first. Go to your bank first.
Yeah.
Call your local police department's number. Once again, do not call 911. Never call 911 unless it's a life-threatening emergency. You call the local police department's number, and they're going to help you out.
Yeah.
And you're going to be fine. But when you do all this, just take a breath and be calm and in control, and you will always be good. Because unfortunately, this is just an evil thing. And by the way, since I'm saying this is, again, a different type of evil, the people out there who do these type of scams, go fuck yourself. I hope you get skinned alive. Because this is a different type of evil. I hope you get skinned alive.
I just wanted to add one more thing, because you said, we say, do not call the number that in the text message or email that you get from...
or voicemail.
And the big reason you don't do that, another reason you don't do that we forgot to mention is that they record those calls. They might record those calls, so they might record you saying certain things.
Certain keywords.
Yes, and they'll ask you questions to get you to say those key phrases or special information. That way, they can call your bank
and splice it all together and as a recording.
Splice it all together. It's like they can just plan.
My mom's told me that all the time.
That happens
never
a lot.
say yes. Never say no. Find basically words that aren't confirming or declining. There are words in the dictionary.
Yeah.
They are. In every language, there's a word. There are words that are not confirming words or declining words. And and it's tricky.
Would you like to make this withdrawal? Yes.
Or would you like to make this withdrawal? Would you like to make this withdrawal? What are you talking about? Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's ways to do it. And that's one thing. Be careful, really. You got to be careful what you say, what you type, because there's a classic movie called Sneakers. I don't know if you saw this, Travis. It's from I think it's late 80s, early 90s. It's about a group of hackers, and they splice together a guy's words together through certain questions they were asking him, and they got in. Now, it's that simple.
Yep.
It's just that simple to splice your audio. Because guess what? It's like we're doing right now in a podcast. Editing. Yeah. It's editing.
If you get like an out-of-the-blue text message, and it seems very innocuous, but like an innocuous, they texted the wrong number. Yeah. Or a phone number for that matter. They either text the wrong number, or it's somebody calling you and say, hello, is Jenny here? And you're like, there is this phone number doesn't belong to Jenny. And then they're like, well, maybe I can talk to you. Well, what's your name, sir? Like, if they want to keep you, because really, if it's a wrong number, they'd be like, oh, my mistake, bye. And they just hang up immediately because it's it's super embarrassing.
It's embarrassing to call the wrong number, no matter what.
But if they're trying to keep you talking, or if they're like, are you sure you're... No, because they're trying to splice words
and
out
to
of
go
you.
further into that, if you answer a phone, you answer a phone call, oh, is this Jenny? Don't even say no. Again, splicing. Oh, is this Jenny? You know what I do? Actually, I just hang up. I don't respond because anything that I say could get spliced.
Yeah.
So going further with like what Travis said about be careful what you say over the phone. If you get a number and they call and said, "Oh, hey Jenny, what's up?" Just hang up.
Yeah.
Just hang up if your name is not said by a voice that you recognize. Just hang up. It's not rude.
Yep.
They called the wrong number. They'll figure out where to get Jenny.
And if they call again, block the number and they'll get the message.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. So it's just safeguarding yourself and your loved ones, being very cautious about what you reply to, respond to, pick up the phone to, and again, if it doesn't look like it's for you, just don't even open it up. Don't even answer it. Don't even open up the text. Don't open up the email. You'll know directly from your actual bank, the actual authorities, an actual family member if you're needed to get a hold of, and also involving money. Just be careful. And you know what? We're speaking about all this really just disgusting stuff because this is what this is. I forgot, and since we are coming towards the end of our episode right now.
Yeah.
Our sponsor, we got another sponsor again, Travis.
Oh,
Can you
my
believe
goodness.
that? We got another sponsor again, folks. And today's sponsor is, it blows my mind, urine. Just typical urine, the stuff that we know when we go take a leak. Urine, it's good to get out of your system. When you are at the toilet or in the grass or next to a wall and you're taking a piss, it's good to check the color. Knows how healthy you are.
Yeah.
It should not be dark.
If it's like foggy and yellow, you should drink more water, which was one of our previous sponsors.
Exactly, need more water. If it's clear, you're drinking enough. If it's completely black or red, go to the doctor's.
Yes.
Or go right away. If it's any color but yellow and clear, go to your doctor. And depending on how dark that yellow is, work on your diet. And hopefully a kidney stone doesn't come out.
We are not licensed medical professionals.
Not at all. And also, too, for those people about urine, if you're into it being on you, good for you.
Just don't tell your friends about it.
Nah, keep it between you and your consenting partner that you like the golden shower. By the way, speaking of the craziness, a little PSA about health. If you find that person who likes to, for some reason, drink it, if they say it's sweet, go to the doctor. That's cancer. Yeah. If they say it's sweet, go to the doctor. You might have ball cancer. That's our sponsor.
That's great. I didn't know that. A great show, everybody. I'd say if there's one advice to leave off on. Hey, Tater Tot.
That's the mascot.
That's not the advice we're given, buddy. My advice would be talk to your kids about how to talk to the police. I feel like a lot of people don't do that. I kind of had to learn through just osmosis and watching the movie My Cousin Vinny, which is very funny, but it's also extremely informative of how not to talk to cops. Just watch the scene where Ralph Macchio is in the interrogation room.
And also, too, talk to the more elder members of your family about these scams. Because a lot of our grandparents and older uncles and aunts and parents, they're still not tech savvy. Tech is still brand new. This whole tech stuff is really just a 10, 20-year boom. So talk to anyone over really 30, just to play it safe.
Yep.
Because that's all the point. The whole point of this PSA we're doing over scams that Travis wanted to bring up to us is just a public service announcement of play it safe. There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
Just protect your money. Protect your hard-working money because you worked your ass off for it, and it can be gone. 10 years of work can be gone in 1 second. Thanks again, everyone, really, for listening to us. We're just always we're happy to have everyone here. Thanks again for taking the time out. It means a lot.
Yep. I hope your commute was short because this is one of our shorter ones. It just ended up being that way.
Short and sweet to the point. Safety is really just short and sweet and to the point. That's it, yeah. So once again, thanks again for listening. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Bye, everyone.